For this report, we surveyed 557 investors globally who were working on nature. We asked that group of investors about what they were doing, why they were doing it, where they were doing it, and what was driving their motivations, and also what some of the challenges and barriers that they were facing were. One of the things that really surprised us when we did this report, firstly, was the size of the investors working on this. The vast majority of investors that we interviewed are sitting between US 30 billion AUM and 500 billion AUM, which tells us that they're institutional scale, so they're significant investors. We were also really surprised by the level of focus on opportunity. So the majority of investors that we interviewed, 63%, actually highlighted opportunity as one of the primary motivators that was getting them into the nature space. That's very, very different to climate, and that's fantastic, and it's really, really important. It does make us ask a question about risk. And so the question of, are investors really taking risks as seriously as they need to? If they don't, where's that going to land us? We'll be interested to find out when we do this report again in the next cycle. The audience for this report is likely to run across not just the investor space, because we know that there are many other investors like us who are interested in understanding how this is playing out and how their peers are engaging in the space, but also obviously the companies they invest in. And then obviously there are a lot of policymakers globally who are trying to understand not only how to address the nature challenges that they have in any different region, but also how to help capital markets help them with those nature challenges. One of the huge drivers of nature interest in nature among investors at the moment, obviously, is the TNFD, which is with us now after how many beta versions? That is sharpening a lot of people's attention in the space for very obvious reasons. It's not the only driver, however. There's been a huge movement in global policy all the way from the Global Biodiversity Framework down to a bunch of regional commitments that we're starting to see come into play. And so investors are having to move not only because they have a new reporting standard, not only because they have a lot of really interested stakeholders, but also because they have policymakers who are on the road and trying to really make sure that this global effort to improve, restore, recover nature is one that encapsulates the commercial space and capital markets as part of that. At Pollination, we work with investors on climate and nature all the time. And so a big part of our work and the help that we offer is trying to help people understand these risks and understand these opportunities and understand how they're unfolding. We obviously also provide investment products that have a nature overlay. So we've got a very strong interest in working with capital markets to try and help them evolve their interaction with nature, to help invest in it, to help improve it, but also to help take account of the risks. So it's our expectation and also our hope that when we do this survey again, we will find that investor practice is developing quite quickly, and we're really, really intent to support with that development as we go from an investment system that presently doesn't quite support a nature positive world to one that really has to get there.